Every country has its own set of rules and regulations, but some laws can seem downright bizarre to outsiders, whether it's about personal behavior, the way you dress, or how you behave in public. Some of these rules are so peculiar that they have sparked curiosity and confusion around the world. Today, we embark on a journey through some of the weirdest and most unusual laws from different countries. These rules may seem strange, but they often have deep cultural, historical, or practical roots that are worth exploring. 1. Chewing gum ban Singapore. One of the most famous strange rules comes from Singapore, where chewing gum is banned. Since 1992, the sale and importation of chewing gum have been prohibited in the country. The law was introduced primarily to tackle the increasing amount of gum littering in public places, especially in the subway system, which was being disrupted by gum stuck on trains and stations. The ban has sparked mixed reactions. While it is seen as a way to keep the city clean, many have questioned whether such a restriction is too extreme. However, Singapore is known for its strict public cleanliness laws, and this rule is just one part of the country's efforts to maintain order and beauty in urban spaces. There are exceptions for medical gum, such as nicotine gum, but in general, you'll find a gum-free landscape across the city-state. 2. No selfies with Buddha, Thailand. In Thailand, it is illegal to take selfies with a Buddha statue or image. This may seem odd, but the law is rooted in the country's deep respect for Buddhism, the dominant religion. In 2014, the Thai authorities warned citizens and tourists alike to avoid posing in selfies with the Buddha. The reasoning behind the law is that it is disrespectful to pose in such a manner with sacred religious symbols. While taking selfies is a popular pastime for tourists, this rule aims to preserve the dignity and sanctity of religious artifacts. Violation of this law can result in a fine or even jail time, depending on the severity of the offense. This is a reminder of how laws can vary greatly, depending on cultural context, and what might seem like a trivial action in one place can be deeply offensive in another. 3. No spitting in public India. In many parts of India, public spitting is prohibited, and for a good reason. It is a widespread problem, especially in densely populated urban areas, where people often spit in public spaces, including streets and public transport. This behavior is not only unsightly, but also contributes to the spread of diseases, particularly in the context of poor sanitation in some areas. As part of an initiative to improve public health and cleanliness, various Indian cities have enacted laws to curb this behavior, with penalties for violators. The rules are part of broader Swachh Bharat, Clean India, initiatives aimed at promoting sanitation, hygiene, and a cleaner environment. While the law may seem like a minor one, its implementation plays a significant role in improving public health and cleanliness in India's busy urban centers. 4. No hugs in public Indonesia. In Indonesia, public displays of affection are frowned upon, and in some regions it is actually illegal. This includes hugging, kissing, and other intimate gestures in public spaces. The rule is particularly enforced in the province of Aceh, which follows Sharia law, and violations can result in fines or corporal punishment, such as caning. The law stems from the country's cultural and religious values, where public modesty and respect for personal boundaries are strongly emphasized. While some may see this as an infringement on personal freedom, in Indonesia, the rule is seen as a way of upholding traditional family values and preventing behavior considered morally inappropriate by certain communities. 5. The no biking rule, Switzerland. In Switzerland, one bizarre law that surprises many visitors is the rule about biking. In the canton of Zurich, it is illegal to ride your bicycle on Sundays, except for people commuting to work. This unusual restriction is based on the country's strict Quiet Sundays law, which is designed to preserve the peace and tranquility of the weekend for all residents. The law prohibits loud activities such as lawn mowing, construction work, and yes, biking, on Sundays to respect the quiet nature of the day. Though you'll find cyclists across the country, in Zurich, this law serves as a reminder of how seriously some nations take the concept of work-life balance and relaxation. 6. No blue jeans in public North Korea. In North Korea, the government enforces strict rules about what citizens can wear, with one of the most peculiar being the ban on wearing blue jeans. Blue jeans, often associated with Western culture, are seen as a symbol of rebellion and capitalism, something that is frowned upon in this communist nation. While most people in North Korea wear standard government-approved uniforms, foreign visitors are usually allowed to wear jeans, though the clothing must adhere to modest and respectful guidelines. The clothing restrictions are part of a larger effort to maintain control over personal appearance and prevent any Western influence from infiltrating North Korean society. 7. No daylight savings. Japan. Unlike many countries around the world, Japan does not observe daylight savings time, DST. Despite its proximity to countries that adjust their clocks every year, Japan has not used DST since 1952. The reasoning behind this decision lies in practicality. Japan, as a country, operates on a consistent time schedule across the entire archipelago, and the government decided that changing the clocks was more of an inconvenience than a benefit. Interestingly, Japan experimented with DST during the American occupation following World War II, but the system was abandoned due to public opposition and the difficulty of coordinating the time change across such a geographically diverse country. 8. No gambling. Qatar. In Qatar, gambling is illegal. This includes both land-based casinos and online gambling. The country adheres to strict Islamic laws, and gambling is viewed as morally and religiously wrong. The Qatari government has zero tolerance for activities that are associated with gambling, and violators can face heavy fines or imprisonment. Despite this, there is a growing interest in other forms of entertainment, such as sports betting, which is technically prohibited, but still happens in underground or unofficial ways. The law reflects Qatar's commitment to uphold Islamic values, but it also creates challenges for the tourism and entertainment industries, which often look to gambling as a significant revenue source. 9. The No Banning Law. Italy. In Italy, one of the strangest laws pertains to the country's famous no ban law for historic buildings. This rule prevents the banning of any activities inside historical buildings, like churches, castles, or ancient ruins, even if it might seem disrespectful. For example, a concert, political rally, or even a protest can still legally take place inside a monument, as long as it is permitted by local authorities. This unusual rule is a reflection of Italy's deep-rooted sense of preserving its historical heritage while simultaneously embracing modernity. The idea is to keep historical buildings relevant by allowing them to be used for contemporary events, ensuring they remain in the public eye and not locked away as stagnant relics of the past. 10. No lifting your luggage. Brazil. In Brazil, particularly in the city of Rio de Janeiro, it is illegal for airport baggage handlers to allow passengers to lift their own luggage. This is done in an effort to prevent injuries and reduce the risks of accidents at the airport. The law mandates that all luggage be handled by airport staff, from check-in to baggage claim, in order to ensure that no one is lifting heavy bags or engaging in unsafe practices while navigating crowded terminals. While this might sound like an odd rule, it's part of Brazil's broader commitment to workplace safety and reducing the risk of physical harm, even if it means creating some unusual restrictions. These quirky laws from around the world show that each country has its own way of governing and its own cultural logic behind why certain behaviors are deemed inappropriate or illegal, whether driven by tradition, religion, or a desire to maintain public order. These laws remind us that what might seem normal to us could be considered bizarre in a different part of the world. And while some may be puzzling, they serve as a testament to the incredible diversity and complexity of global cultures.